I want to talk about being child free and what the experience is actually like because being child free is a lifestyle, but it's not a lifestyle that I think about every day when I wake up. Like when you're a parent, you have to think about being a parent 24/7 because you have another being or multiple children that are relying on you. There's a child free movement, which I do know about. And yeah, I guess I'm a part of it, right? Because I'm child free. By default, I would assume I'm a part of this movement. But it's now being talked about on platforms like TikTok and Twitter more, and even Instagram, of course. I want to talk about my experience being child free and my experience only because everyone is different. Let's get into why I'm child free. I never wanted to be a mother. Yeah, there's moments where I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to be a mom, but I've never uh, seen myself as a mother. For those that don't know, I was in foster care. So for me, I didn't really have the best childhood. I did have a good childhood up until that point. For the first 8 years, I would say I had a pretty good childhood, and then it kind of went downhill when my mother turned to drugs. My father having to step in more. Um, was a challenge. Being in foster care for 4 years between the ages of 12 and 16 was a devastating period of my life because I'm a teenager trying to learn who I am, what I want, what I don't want, navigating through life. While you're a ward of the state, it's not easy to do that. So I didn't even really have the privilege of thinking about being a parent and, when typically most girls think about being a mother in that age range, I was in survival mode and I kind of am still. I'm not going to hold you. I feel like a lot of us are still in survival mode because the economy and just how the world is today. Yeah, I never really wanted to be a mom. I've had two abortions. I had an abortion when I was 18 and 22 years old. Yeah, I would have been a baby mama two times over. And one thing I always said was I do not want to be a baby mother. Not that there's anything wrong with it, right? Society believes that there is. Society is going to treat you a certain way once it's known that you're a single mom. I find it to be admirable for women that opt out of partnerships and intentionally want to be a solo parent because they have the resources, they have the community to do it. So cut out the middleman literally and just be a parent if that's something you really want to do. I know it's not something for me, especially after having two abortions. I don't know what in my mind would make me want to go through all that and then turn around and say, yeah, all right, let's try it again. Not to say that my abortion experience was traumatic. It's not traumatic for every single woman. I want that to be put out there as well. You can have an abortion and not be traumatized. And there are some women that are. Yeah, I didn't want the actual responsibility of looking after another child because I still felt like I had to look after myself. Sure, you don't want to be a mom. You might change your mind. What if you find the right person? Will you change their mind if they want kids? You're a good person. Someone would love to be your child, or you're a good person. You would be an awesome parent. You've done this in life. You've traveled. You've accomplished this. You would be a pretty cool mom. And I'm like, yeah, I would be if I wanted to be a mom, though. In order to be a good parent, you would have to first want to be a parent. I find it interesting that people will hear someone say, I don't want to be a parent, and say, well, you should be a parent. Who would suggest for someone to be a parent that doesn't want to be a parent? I don't think typically that ends well. And we see a lot of parents neglecting their children because they either didn't want to be a parent or they were forced to be a parent due to religion or state laws where abortion is banned. So they are forced to have a child that they financially can't take care of or don't have the right support. To me, I look at children as being one of the biggest responsibilities anyone can have because they're human beings that will eventually grow up to be adults. And if you don't pour love into that child and give them the right resources where they're able to thrive, I don't see the point of being selfish enough to have a child for the sake of being a parent. There are people that are childless, meaning they don't have children, but they do want children, but under certain circumstances. So there's a difference between being child free and childless. I'm not childless because under no conditions do I want to be in a relationship, a romantic relationship with someone that has a child. And people will be like, oh, well, that's slimming your choices down. What if the person that was meant for you wants children? I'm like, that makes no sense because my person, whatever that even means, I have my own point of view when it comes to your soulmate, etc. That means they're not my soulmate. If they want children, they're not meant to be my partner because we don't want the same things. Literally. Like, I don't know. They can have everything going for themselves. They can be perfect. They can check off all of the boxes. But if they want children, that box right there will not be checked. Not for me. Yes, I've dated people that had kids. Actually, my longest relationship have been with guys that had kids. And for the most part, I didn't really interact with them on a regular basis. I didn't really get to know them well enough. And both of them actually had baby mama drama. So, yeah, that's another thing. I don't believe in the whole like compromising situation like being a parent. Being with someone that has children or wants children is a big compromise, for those that don't want it. Yeah, I don't want to be a parent. So it makes no sense for me to date people that have kids because then I'll be considered a step parent or someone that is helping someone raise their child. I'm better off as a friend. I'm better off as being a babysitter. I'm a great aunt. I live with my nephew who's 8 years old. And I've been there since the beginning. So I know what it's like to at least be a part of raising a child, right? I'm not his mom because my sister is here as well. But I understand constant the constant ways that you have to attend to a child. Even when you don't feel like it, you have to it's a job, right? It's a full-time job, as they say, which is a job I don't want to sign up for. I like sleeping in. I like being lazy. I like traveling. And I remember someone telling me like, "Oh, you love traveling? I've been in 39 countries." Okay? I love to travel. So to me, that is my lifestyle. That is my form of living. Can you travel with children? Absolutely. But that alone is another form of a lifestyle. Being a parent and traveling with your children is not the same as traveling solo. It just isn't. Having someone tell me like, oh yeah, well, you can still travel with children, you can still have fun, you can still go out, you can do this, you can do that. I'm like, yeah, but you still have your children with you. Like, it's not like it's going away. And being the friend that is child free in a group of friends that have children, sometimes it feels like I'm the one that takes the load off of them because I don't have children. It's one less child to look after in the group. It's one less child to consider and to keep an eye out on, if you're going on like a day trip to like Six Flags or something. You know what I mean? Like, being the child-free friend has its benefits to friends that have children. We can babysit. We can help when the baby daddy or the husband is not doing his job. We're someone that our friends can come to and just complain about their children without being judged by another parent. Being child-free, we see exactly what is going on. Just because we don't have children ourselves doesn't mean that we don't understand what it takes to raise a child because we were all children before. So we know if someone is doing a good job at raising their children and someone who can do better and someone who's just not good at it at all. You know what I mean? And may need some help to step in. But yeah, society do not respect children. Society does not respect mothers. And we see that in the government. We see the laws that are being made. We see how the medical field is treating, for instance, Black mothers who die giving birth. compared to 4 times likely die giving birth compared to a white woman, because of neglect. We're told that we are strong and we're ignored when we raise concerns about our bodies. So that leads to a lot of mothers, who are giving birth to not make it because they're just not taken seriously due to racial biases. Am I going to make it out after giving birth? Is my child going to make it, through birth? It's a gamble. I have a concern for all children that unfortunately have to live in this society where they don't know if their school is going to be next. And I volunteer with children. I've volunteered in South Africa, in the townships of Cape Town, the most dangerous parts of Africa, period. And I've seen some things, and the compassion and empathy that I have for children is why I don't have any. It's because I know that it's a job that I couldn't do full time. It's a job that is scary. I would constantly have a cloud over my head from worrying about my child. I would literally just be so anxious all the time. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that lifestyle. I'm doing a child a favor by not bringing them into this world. This messed up world, this corrupted world, this eroded world. It's just terrible.
Terrible, Your Honor.
We're in a horrible situation right now. Politically, socially, economically, we're just, yeah. I wouldn't trust anyone to look after my child besides myself or, maybe one or two people, right? Because again, just because you love your child doesn't mean that everybody else does. And that is the true reality of society. And we see it every day. Children being kidnapped, people harming children. So being child free gives me the ability to have a purpose outside of the societal norms due to the patriarchy, due to being told just because I have a uterus, I need to use it. I don't, and I'm not. So
Get somebody else to do it.
and there's nothing anyone could do about it. We have people that are judging child-free people, people that are judging parents, people judging single mothers. You can't win, so just do whatever you want to do. And don't ever let anyone shame you for choosing a lifestyle that is meant for you and you only. To me, it's more selfish to bring a child into the world just because it's something I'm supposed to do, or it's something that I need to do on my end to keep the world going or populate society, in which I believe society is overpopulated as it is. We don't need any more children being born. I think we can be fine for a little while, you know what I'm saying? And also, the childbirth rate is going down significantly. I think in history, we have the lowest childbirths ever. Yay. Okay, come on, ladies, we're doing that. And I love it because it gives society time to reflect of why a lot of women are opting out of having children, and also the benefits of it. But yeah, I love children. I'm not opting out of motherhood because I don't like children. I actually genuinely do. I think children are super cool. I love how innocent they are and how like the smallest things makes them curious and them asking questions. I love when children ask questions. It doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some parents, and I understand why. Just the abundance of potential that we can pour into children for them to become great adults. I think that is very crucial, and I think teachers are significantly important in society today. The more teachers we have that are attentive and want to teach and make our future children better adults, then I think it's great. So being child free, I know if I ever do decide to date again, I don't know when that would ever be. But if I ever do decide to date again, yeah, I have my preference. And please stop telling child-free people that they're going to change their minds. Even if some do, let them. They have that right. But on average, telling another adult, as an adult, what's best for an adult is insane. Like, you can't tell me what's best for me because I only know what's best for me. I only know what I'm capable of managing. I only know what I'm capable of putting my all into. And yeah, I'm not doing it. Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
Being child free can be a flex for some people. To me, again, I don't really think about it. It's just something I'm just not. I'm just not a parent because I don't want to be. It is pouring out here. Respect that. Respect other people's decisions if they just simply don't want to have children, at all, or if they want to have children under certain circumstances. Everyone has that right. So, believing the idea of a woman's purpose is to procreate, I don't believe in that. I believe a woman's purpose is whatever the hell she says it is. And if she chooses to say that it's being a mom, great. If that's her purpose, okay. All of these typical misogynistic point of views of what a woman's purpose is outdated. A lot of people are just not caring anymore. Luckily, my parents never hounded me over having children, or my grandparents never did that. My family is pretty progressive, so I never had to worry about the church thing. I'm an atheist. I'm agnostic atheist. So I don't believe in the whole oh, you must have a child before this age and your purpose is da 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 da. If you do want to have children, do it under your circumstances, okay? Please do not rush having children, meaning if you are reaching a certain age and you're scared that you're not going to have children because you haven't found the right partner, do not rush by picking just anyone to have a kid with, because you might as well just go to the sperm bank and or adopt a child, that needs a parent, and do it solo. I'll never understand the whole, my biological clock is ticking. I need to find a man. I need to find a man. I need to find a man to have a kid with. And it's like, do you not see the lot of men out here? I'm sorry, but having a child these days with just anybody is not wise. It's just not, Ebony K. Williams, to me, is like one of the smart ones who did it the way that she felt right. And she got a lot of pushback, even though, why would anyone push back on a woman like Ebony K. Williams, who's educated, has a great income, has community, I'm sure, to be a single mom by choice, I think it's pretty badass. I think most women are raising their children in marriages alone anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of single mothers that are married, that are doing all of the work, attending the school meetings, taking their children to practice and doctor's appointments and recitals and fixing the dinner and cleaning and doing all these chores and stuff around the house. And yeah, that's not for me. It's just not. I'd rather be the cool auntie that can just give gifts and travel with my nephew and his friend and take his friends with me, you know what I mean, when they're old enough, etc. And just be cool and chill. I don't want my life to be any more hard than it was in the past, and still currently is. Life is hard. So, and I don't think it's fair, again, to bring a child into this world that deserves all the love and attention that it should get. So yeah, I respect children. I love children. I think children need all of the love and support that they can get, and we should be able to give it to them. So yeah, that's really it. I just wanted to put it out there. Leave people alone that made their minds up about the life they want to choose, regardless of what it is. Just let people live. So I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and happiness. Smiley said it.